Hi, my name is Beth Armstrong, and I'm here today to present to you how to avoid burnout, a call to recharge. I first want to present to you what actually is burnout. So, burnout, per the World Health Organization, is a syndrome conceptualized as a result of chronic workplace stress and really hasn't been successfully managed really by anyone. And truly, it's probably because not a lot of people really understand what burnout is. So let's kind of go over what the signs of burnout really are. So, burnout is just the feeling of energy depleted or just true signs of exhaustion. Many people feel just mentally distant of their job. They're feeling just really negative or cynical of their job itself. Many times they can even just feel cynical about life it's within itself. They have reduced professional efficiency, just things of changing at their job altogether. Many times, people at work, other people just may kind of start seeing those signs of those others too. So, really, why do we need to change this culture within our profession? We talk about, burnout and compassion fatigue so frequently, but really, we're not truly getting to the meat and potatoes of it. We're really not talking about how do we change this altogether, or how really are we going to really make a big change at all. We just keep saying that it's a problem. So the issue behind it is that we all looked at this culture and said that this culture was really amazing to work to we dropped before. It was glorified to work 12 plus hours and come back the next day, 8 hours later, or work 16 hours, or not have enough sleep. And really, that's just very toxic. So we really need to look within and say, you know, it's not okay to run our battery really low. We always look at our phone and say, hey, my phone is dying and we really need to recharge it. And we want our phone to always be charged to the fullest. So why don't we do that for ourselves? Why don't we look at ourselves and want to be fully charged? Because right now we're all running in the red zone of being only about 10% charged all the time. So, how do we just, charge ourselves all the time? Low battery is just a panic zone for ourselves, and we don't want that. Life is not good to be running on the red zone. So, when we're on that red zone, that means we're exhausted all the time. And I'll be honest, I've run on the red zone for a really long time, and it's exhausting. And this is where we're very, very vulnerable of burnout. So, we need to definitely recharge, and we need to find the ways to recharge. And that doesn't mean that it takes that much effort. We just need to be able to take care of ourselves and really put ourselves first. So, why is it that we can't care for ourselves with just at least the same amount of care and consideration of anyone else around us, or the phones that we keep in our hands all the time? Why is it that we give ourselves these excuses that our days are too busy, or we have kids, or we have too many animals, or our jobs are just too important? So, what we need to do is think of self care as self indulgent. Consider this the greatest gift that you can give yourself, really, just emotional well being. What are things that we can do during our workday? What are things that we can do when we get home? Just 10 minutes when you get home, or 30 minutes when you get home, your car ride home, anything that you find is self care that you enjoy. Remember that emotions are important. Long hours are things that you need to give yourself back to recharge. And also, regular breaks are really important throughout the day. Emotions can be really contagious. I remember working with a person who was a big negative Nancy. And every time I worked with that person and their negative effects, everyone else around us was super negative. I also remember that working in education, I tried to be a really positive person around my students because it was a really hard culture in that area. And I was able to turn around those students and their emotions. And it was really fantastic of how much fun we actually had. So if you're stressed out, take a break, try to turn around and make yourself a little bit more positive. It really does help and gets you a little less stressed out. I know it's hard. It can impact your work too, those emotions. It's been shown that it makes you definitely more unproductive. It also makes you more tired and harder to think. Working long hours can also be stressful and also potentially dangerous. You also become a lot more unproductive when you get tired. Yeah, working 12-hour shifts are really hard. By that 12th hour, you're tired. I remember working a 12-hour shift for emergency, and it was almost expected to stay late. There were times that I actually worked 16 hours, and it's not only dangerous for when you're working at work, but think about that long drive home and the people on the road, and I'm exhausted and almost falling asleep. It's not safe for anyone involved. It's been shown that our IQ also drops 13 points when we're locked into that red zone. It's not sustainable. And so at that time, I'm definitely running on the red zone all the time. And during that time, I was also going to school full time. So it was extremely hard. So taking regular breaks is really important. I mean, how many of us honestly take a regular break all the time? Even at home, how hard is it to take a break when you guys have kids running around and animals running around? Sometimes we just need a little bit of a break. So it's okay to just say, hey, I'm going to go outside and take a walk. It's really important to be able to take some time for yourselves. It's been shown that violinists even take regular breaks and naps so that they're able to focus on their music and play really well. Recharging is so important. And here are some other tips of staying recharged. We need adequate sleep, friendly faces, and physical activity. So, here are some really great ideas. Making sure that you have minimum of 7 hours of sleep a night, but ideally really 8 hours of sleep a night. 6 hours of sleep a night has been shown that we still are waking up with some energy depletion. We're still in that red zone, but it says that about one third of Americans still only get about 6 hours of sleep. So we definitely have work to do. Now, there's been a stigma that says that if we have people who are sleeping too much or taking these breaks, that this is just a sign of laziness. And we really need to break that stigma. This is part of our mental health and our part of self care. Also, it's important to see friendly faces, which I know has been really hard in these last couple of years. But even if we see them virtually, it's really great to be able to see their faces, talk about what's going on, and talk to them about what they're doing in their life so that we're not always just working and not seeing anyone we know. And having healthy relationships is really great. So it's that antidote of burnout and that time that you're able to recharge with the people that you really care about. Happiness, of course, with the animals that you love is also really important. Of course, this is my animal who I love and adore. Having physical activity is really important. Taking walks outside, getting fresh air, having that sun hit you, whether you are having that sweat, which is a great thing so that you are able to take good baths and that you can enjoy, which is a great self care thing too. Whether you like yoga, going to work out, anything that you can do to really stretch your body is also fantastic. And really reflecting on things that is going on in your life, whether you like to meditate or just kind of sit there and reflect, is really good. And having self awareness. This gets you really out of that red zone and really recharge on everything. Thank you so much for listening to everything I had to say about burnout and really recharging. Please visit VTNE Prep if you have any questions, or you can reach out to me as well. I appreciate your time today, and I hope you guys recharge and have a great day. Thank you so much.